Hey everyone, and welcome to What If Disney World. I'm Stevie.
And I'm Amy.
Today we're going to be discussing our favorite places to eat a meal in each Disney World park. This will be a mixture of table service and quick service. There are a ton of snacks that we love to eat in Disney World, but that will have to be another video. And we could also do another video on our favorite places to eat outside the parks too. But today, we are just focusing on those places we love to eat inside the Disney World parks.
We have a general rule of thumb that we like to do one sit-down or table service meal a day. But we have some days where we just do quick service through the whole day because it offers more flexibility and it's more economical. And oftentimes the way that we do the parks, we might have a quick service lunch in the park and then have a nicer table service meal outside of the park for dinner. But today we're just going to go park by park, starting with the Magic Kingdom. We have 3 favorite table service restaurants here in Magic Kingdom. But at the top of our favorite list is Cinderella's Royal Table, and here's why. Number 1, the location, in my opinion, can't be beat. There's just nothing like eating inside of Cinderella's castle. It feels really magical and so special. And now it's a character meal again. So you get to meet Cinderella downstairs as you're coming in or exiting. And then while you're dining, there's princesses that come around to your table. So this ends up saving you time because you get to meet 5 princesses over the course of your meal, and you don't have to wait in line at multiple different queues to see those princesses in the park. And we think the food is really great here. We have eaten here for breakfast and lunch, and we prefer lunch. Yes, breakfast is cheaper, so if you're on a budget, you could do breakfast. And it was really good. I didn't think that it was bad at all, but we just really, really love the beef tenderloin that's served at lunch and dinner. And it's only $15 more per person, and you get a full 3-course meal with an appetizer, a steak if you want it, and a dessert. And the food is just really, really good. That sauce on the beef tenderloin,
Very, very good.
Unbelievable. I kind of want to lick my plate, but then it's a fancy restaurant, so I don't do that.
Yeah.
And the kids' options are really picky eater friendly too. They cater to kids here. It's a character meal, so there's mac and cheese, there's cheese and apples and grapes, and there's a build your own cupcake for dessert for the kids. The only downside of this restaurant for us is the price, but out of all the places, I think this is really worth a splurge. Next on our list in Magic Kingdom would be Skipper Canteen. This restaurant is so unique and fun. The food is better than typical park food, and it's really interesting. But the really fun thing about this place is the theming. So it's Jungle Cruise themed, and your servers are skippers, and they tell jokes and puns, and it just makes for a really fun, happy atmosphere. And don't be intimidated by the menu. If you read through it, it looks intimidating, especially if you're a pickier eater. But the tastes like chicken, because it is just fried chicken, and it's really good. And I ate the shrimp fried rice appetizer as my meal for lunch, and that was wonderful, and it was a really great economical lunch. And for the kids, they have things like mac and cheese and fried chicken and fruit as a side. For our complete review of that restaurant, you can check out our video that we have on that. We can link that below. And the third table service we'll talk about in Magic Kingdom is Liberty Tree Tavern. This is like eating a home-cooked Thanksgiving meal in a colonial home. It's really a neat atmosphere, like the floors creak when you walk on them like it would in an old colonial home. And the food is so good. It's comfort food. It's roast beef and turkey and dressing and mac and cheese and mashed potatoes. And the best part, the dessert. The ooey gooey toffee cake is worth the reservation alone. I would go there just to eat that cake. It's so good. Okay, now let's move on to our top quick service places in Magic Kingdom. Gaston's Tavern in Fantasyland has the best cinnamon rolls I've ever had in my life.
So good.
They're huge. They're super shareable. We used to just get one and we could all share it. As our kids have gotten older and they eat more, we'll get two because they love them so much too. They eat quite a lot of them. But it's different because it's got like this butterscotch topping on it too, aside from the icing. Y'all, it's so good. You just have to try it.
So you can't go in Magic Kingdom without stopping by Casey's Corner. It's one of our favorite quick service lunch or dinner options. The foot-long hot dogs are some of the best hot dogs ever. You can get the corn dog nuggets, which are excellent as well. Not to mention the views from this restaurant are great. Sitting there looking at the castle, nothing's more classic than being on Main Street, right? And enjoying a big awesome hot dog.
They're really good.
And these can be shareable as well. You can cut that thing in half and two of you can eat. It's great.
Okay, now let's move on to Hollywood Studios. We typically eat quick service at Hollywood Studios, but if we had to pick a table service, our top pick would be Hollywood and Vine. We also have a full review on this we can link below, but we really love this place. The food is served buffet style, but it has some more elevated options like an excellent salmon and peel and eat shrimp and a carving station. And there's also a really excellent kid buffet selection there for picky eaters. And the character interaction we had there was some of the best that we have ever had in Walt Disney World. It was so special there. But for our typical meal in Hollywood Studios, we just always keep going back to the same quick service options. So for breakfast, we like to go to Woody's Lunchbox. Here they have the Lunchbox tarts, and they're basically like homemade Pop-Tarts, but better than Pop-Tarts. It's this flaky, buttery pastry with different fillings, and they have seasonal fillings that rotate, and they have a raspberry one that's usually always there, but they're so good, and we've never had a bad one. We love every one that we've ever had. They also have loaded tater tots here if you wanted something savory. And then for our favorite quick service lunch, we love the Ronto wrap from Ronto Roasters.
These are so good.
I can't emphasize that enough. This is roasted pork, sausage, and slaw with a peppercorn sauce wrapped in a soft, warm pita bread. Y'all, I don't really like sausage. I don't really like pork that much. I don't really like slaw that much. But something about this combination, the texture, the flavor, it's so good. You can get it at Ronto Roasters until 3 p.m. And then when Ronto Roasters closes, you can get it at Docking Bay 7, which is like right around the corner from Ronto Roasters. Okay, moving on to Epcot. We also tend to eat at quick service restaurants here, but our favorite table service restaurant is Space 220. The atmosphere here is literally out of this world. But seriously, it's so neat to eat here. You ride in this elevator that looks like you're flying into space, and then when you're up there, the cast members are all in. You are literally in space. We ate in the lounge area, and I would really highly recommend that because you get the same atmosphere experience, but you get to order a la carte instead of the expensive prefix menu. You just can't have more than a party of 4 in the lounge. So if you have a bigger party or family, you would have to either split up or eat in the regular restaurant area. But here we loved the short rib sliders. We also have a full review on that. We can also link below. Another table service restaurant that deserves to be mentioned at Epcot is Akershus. So Akershus is a princess dining character meal in the Norway Pavilion at Epcot. And specifically, I would say Akershus breakfast. Now, if you're listening to this shortly after we post it, breakfast has not yet resumed at Akershus. It's going to resume May 14th, 2023. But we did this pre-closure in 2019. The character interaction here was outstanding. The princesses spent so much time with our girls. It was such special, sweet memories there. So we will definitely be trying to go back as soon as breakfast restarts because that was one of our favorite meals pre-closure. I think for picky eaters, the breakfast food is going to be more appealing than the lunch or dinner options, which is kind of like a traditional Norwegian meal. But I've heard people say that lunch and dinner is very good as well. Okay, for quick service in Epcot, we like to go to Leal's Bakery located in the France Pavilion. This is such a great place to grab a pastry for breakfast, a sandwich for lunch, and you have to grab a dessert while you're in there too. There are so many great options, and honestly, we haven't ever had a bad thing from there, so just get whatever looks good to you. We also really enjoy eating at Sunshine Seasons. It doesn't seem all that exciting, but there's a few reasons why we love it here. Number one, it's indoors and climate controlled, so if it's too hot or too cold or it's rainy, you have a nice indoor space to sit down. It has a ton of seating, so you're very likely to find a seat in there, and it's a great place to sit during rider switch for Soarin'. And I personally like it because it has a lot of healthier options. For kids, they have this great little fruit and cheese option. Our kids love to get that. There's also mac and cheese for the picky eaters. And as adults, we like to get the stir-fry chicken or the rotisserie chicken, or the salad is good. So it just has a little bit healthier options than your typical park food. And in Epcot, there's almost always a festival going on. And so we like to also just eat around the world. It lets you experience different types of foods that may be outside of your comfort zone and expand your palate a little bit. This might be hard with picky eaters, but what we've found is the refreshment port in Canada has chicken nuggets, and they're really, really good, by the way. And then the refreshment outpost over in between Germany and China has just a plain old hot dog for kids. So if you choose the eating around the world option, you can stop at either one of those places to get something for your picky eater kid. All right, and now we'll talk about Animal Kingdom. Honestly, we don't really have any table service restaurants here that we love. We've tried Tusker House Dinner, and it was fine. It was neat to experience some of the unique African flavored foods, but I think that there's better character meal options in Disney World, so we just typically go with a quick service meal in Animal Kingdom. And here's two of our favorites. Satuli Canteen is a quick service that feels a bit more like a sit-down restaurant because you're served on real dinnerware and have real silverware. We really love this place. You can build your own bowl with a base of rice or noodles and whatever meat you want and different sauces. Those are really unique and good. And then the cheeseburger pods is like a McDonald's hamburger in a bao bun, and it's really, really good and unique. For picky eaters, they also have things like a cheese quesadilla and a hot dog that's wrapped in dough, like a big pigs in a blanket kind of thing.
Flame Tree Barbecue is probably our favorite. You can sit down by the water in the shade with a lovely view of Everest. The barbecue here is really, really good, and they have good options for picky eater kids too, like hot dogs, mac and cheese, and Uncrustables. The portion on the rib and chicken plate is huge and definitely shareable. A good bang for your buck at less than $16. So we really enjoy going here. We often get that and the mac and cheese topped with pulled pork, which is less than $13. It's a great place to go, get in the shade, plenty of seating down there by the water. It's a nice place to get some food.
The caveat we'll add to this list is that We haven't tried every restaurant in Disney World. So there are some restaurants that we have on our list that we can't wait to try because we've heard really good reviews about them. But here you have our favorites that we just keep coming back to over and over again because they're that good to us. But let us know your favorite restaurant in the Disney parks below. Do you agree with our choices, or did we leave out your favorite? Maybe there's somewhere that you think we really need to try because we didn't list it and it's your favorite. Please let us know below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to our channel. It really helps support our channel. And until next time, keep dreaming.